Rainbow fentanyl, folks. Rainbow fentanyl is a thing. It exists. There is rainbow fentanyl. It's everywhere. In fact, your kids, go into your kid's room right now and look for some rainbow fentanyl, because they got some. I got some. You know, my dog has rainbow fentanyl. Everyone's got rainbow fentanyl, right? So everyone call the DEA. Tell them about this. Oh, shit. Halloween's coming up. My kid is stockpiling rainbow fentanyl to hand out to the rest of the class. Anyway, authorities find 15,000 rainbow fentanyl pills in a Lego box. Largest seizure of the drug in NYC history, DEA says. In a Lego box. Now, was it a kid's Lego box? Or, right, did whoever just had this shit think, oh, fuck, I have a Lego box lying around. Where else am I going to put my rainbow fentanyl? Let's throw it in the fucking Lego box. Federal authorities have accused a New Jersey woman of concealing approximately 15,000 rainbow-colored fentanyl pills in a Lego box as part of a drug trafficking scheme in what U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration authorities said in a news release is the largest seizure of the drug in New York City history. Letitia Bush, 48, pleaded not guilty last week at an arraignment in Manhattan criminal court. A spokesperson for the prosecutor said she was charged with one count of first-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance and one count of third-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, according to the criminal complaint. Bush is expected to appear in court again October 18. The New York County Defender Services gave CNN no comment on behalf of Bush's attorney. Using happy colors to make a deadly drug seem fun and harmless is a new low, even for the Mexican cartels. Now again, fentanyl is a problem, right? Why is there a crisis of fentanyl in this country? Why? Because of our drug laws. Because it's so hard to get drugs, and people want drugs, and people are going to get drugs, right? So what that creates is a black market. There's a black market for drugs. And if things are in the hands of a black market, guess what's going to happen? The people are going to cut costs. How are they going to cut costs? They're going to import different ingredients to cut their drugs with. In this instance, fentanyl. Fentanyl is often used to cut other forms of drugs. Why? One, it's way cheaper, and two, it's way more addictive, right? So again, the government should step in and legalize these markets, provide safe injection sites, provide areas where you can go in and purchase heroin, purchase cocaine. It happens in other countries, and guess what? Rates of overdoses, boo! Right? Guess what? Drug addiction, boo! Why? Because it's less of a stigma. People can go get help if they need it, right? Guess what also happens? Rainbow-colored fentanyl crisis poisoning, boo! Going down in the countries and areas that have decriminalized or legalized drugs, right? So again, that is why rainbow fentanyl is such a problem in this country, because of our stupid fucking drug laws. The DEA, if the DEA stopped existing, fentanyl poisoning would... Why? Because there would be no drug enforcement, and therefore everything else would be able to be achieved via proper channels. So again, that's one part. The other part is, again, using happy colors to make a deadly drug seem fun and harmless is a new low. Have you heard of McDonald's, motherfucker? Have you heard of Burger King, motherfucker? Have you heard of Wendy's? Have you heard of the soda aisle? Have you been to the cereal aisle in any grocery store? That motherfucker shit, they got purples, they got pinks, they got blues, they got rainbow marshmallows, they got all this fucking shit at the supermarket. But that's fine? You can give kids like fucking 78 flavored ice cream and that's fucking fine? Right, so I'm just throwing that out there. Fentanyl is involved in 80% of overdose deaths in the city. Now, again, they're not overdose deaths. They are poisoning, right? If I'm eating dinner, right, and instead of eating dinner, what I think is dinner, right, I'm eating Windex, guess what? That's called poisoning. I got poisoned, right? If I'm buying cocaine and I'm doing cocaine and then I die because I wasn't doing cocaine, I was doing fentanyl-addled cocaine, guess what? That's called poisoning. That's not a fucking overdose. An overdose is when I'm trying to do an 8-ball, and instead, I decide to do 5, and then boom, I'm dead, my head explodes, okay? That's a fucking overdose. An overdose is when you do too much. An overdose is not when you get fucking poisoned with something else. So again, this fucking, just the way that this country talks about drugs and overdoses, and fucking, it's just... One, how we don't even know what an overdose means anymore. We just don't. Someone died of an overdose, we have no information. Before, an overdose meant, maybe they were a drug addict, right? And they just tried to hit a new high and they did too much. That's what a fucking overdose used to mean. Now an overdose what means, did they do too much? Did they have an addiction problem? Were they poisoned? Where did they get... again, overdose, the word has been ruined because of fucking the DEA. And isn't it crazy, by the way, that the DEA and the media is what's spreading misinformation about drugs? Shouldn't they want to be clarifying these things? Shouldn't they want to say that this isn't an overdose epidemic, it's a poisoning epidemic? Wouldn't that be better for their bottom line? I don't know why they still spread misinformation like this, but either way... If you take any drug sold on the street or through the internet, regardless of its medicinal markings or festive appearance, you risk your life, she added. I agree. But again, it's not because you're buying drugs. It's not the drug that's the problem. It is the drug laws and the black market system that this country has created. The drug itself, people have been doing fucking opium for goddamn thousands of years. People have been drinking alcohol for thousands of years. People have been smoking weed for thousands of years, right? Again, people have been doing these kinds of drugs for a long time. Now, again, people can get addicted to these drugs and die from addiction, overdose. There's, negative health effects over time in a lot of these drugs. That's a problem. But people, let's say it's your birthday, and every year on your birthday, you want to get some cocaine and have a good fucking party. Why shouldn't you be allowed to do that? If you can manage your addiction and not get addicted to something, let's say it's Halloween and you want to try some fucking heroin, go for it, buddy. That shouldn't be a fucking problem. But instead, let's say it's Halloween, you want to try some heroin for Halloween. Not that I recommend it. I've never done heroin. Right? And you go buy your, some heroin from your buddy fucking Jack, right? And Jack is like, you really trust the guy, but, Jack doesn't know. He got some shit in. He thought it was good to go, but guess what? Fentanyl poison. You're going to die on Halloween instead of just having a great fucking party, right? So again, I don't know what the hell we're doing as a country here, but again, all of these fucking, just the drug laws, everything, and the way that this shit is marketed. Let's keep reading. The DEA released a warning in August advising the public of this alarming emerging trend. DEA Administrator Ann Milgram called rainbow fentanyl a deliberate effort by drug traffickers to drive addiction among kids and young adults. That is not a fucking thing. And again, if we want to talk about driving addictions in kids and young adults, ice cream, Pop-Tarts, fucking Hot Pockets, fucking toaster strudels, pizza rolls, Wendy's, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew. If we want cereal, if we want to talk about drug addictions in young kids, let's talk about that, okay? A young kid is not going to get addicted to fentanyl. Now again, is it possible? Theoretically, sure. If a 6-year-old got one of these fentanyl pills, they would die. They would not get addicted. They would fucking die. I don't understand. No drug dealer is giving this fucking shit to kids because no drug dealer wants dead kids to deal with. That's going to increase the fucking police attention and they're going to get fucked up in the fucking face. They don't want to kill kids with this fucking shit. That's crazy. Why would a drug dealer risk their own lives like that by killing kids, right? So again, maybe they'll kill some adult drug addicts, right? Maybe it's possible, right? Less heat, less attention. They don't want any fucking dead kids on their hands. That's a huge fucking problem to shove under the rug, right? So again, and also, are there any examples? You'd think there would be examples, right? Of a kid died in Oklahoma from fentanyl. A kid died in Idaho from eating 16 fentanyls for breakfast. You know what I mean? Come on. So they, disguising fentanyl as candy and concealing it in children's toys will never hide the fact that fentanyl is a deadly poison that harms our communities, our families, and our city. Now again, if they actually cared about this, if the New York police actually gave a fuck about stopping fentanyl poisoning, they would legalize these markets and ensure regulation, ensure that there is no fentanyl in these drugs. That way, you can know for sure people aren't getting fentanyl poisoning. Why would someone go on the black market and buy some fucking fentanyl-addled fucking heroin when they can just go to the heroin store and get that shit for the same price and they know it's pure? Huh? You'd have to be a fucking idiot. In that case, Darwin Award for that motherfucker. When they got the heroin store in the same market as your black market drug dealer in the same fucking price and you're getting the black market heroin, you are a dumb motherfucker. But guess what? Check this out. Also, if we did have legal markets, black markets may still exist, and they may also be beneficial because oftentimes, again, let's say that we have legal markets in some states in the country. Drug dealers will go to those states, they will stock up on whatever drug, they will go somewhere else and they will sell it, and that drug is going to be, regulated to be more pure. So again, even if we regulated drugs but we didn't do it in the greatest way, the overall health would increase because drug dealers might go there to get their drugs instead of, dealing with some weirdo who's getting their fucking imports from China and they're unreliable, right? So again, when are these motherfuckers going to talk about solutions? They love crying. Fentanyl. The kids are, Fox News is telling everyone to cancel trick or treat, cancel Halloween, cancel it all, cancel it, cancel culture. What happened to this cancel culture outrage from these guys? Now these motherfuckers want to cancel Halloween because of rainbow colored drugs. Oh no! Right? Again, and they never want to talk about solutions. They never want to talk about how to fix the problem. They just want you to freak out. And guess what? It's easier to cause someone to freak out without giving them a solution, because if they have a solution, they'll lobby for that solution. They'll fight for that solution. They'll protest for that solution. They'll vote based on those solutions. If you don't give them a solution, they're just going to go, wah, 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 over and over and over again. And when people are scared, you know what they do? They turn to authority. And that's why these authority figures love fear. They love to make people afraid because it gives them big ass boners, because then they feel like they're more valuable to society, when in reality, based on the facts of this matter, they are irrelevant. They are a net negative. The DEA has done more damage to this country in terms of overdosing, in terms of poisoning, in terms of drugs. The DEA has done more damage than any other industry or organization or agency in the world when it comes to this country and this country's perception on drugs, right? So again, just throwing that shit out there. But anyway. Oh, in a Lego box. Oh, the world is at where was a kid eating the rainbow? No, it was just in a box. Oh, great. Cool.